Hello and welcome. My name is Paul and I'll be doing a quick first analysis video on a company that I recently discovered thanks to Robinhood. I got a notification from Robinhood on a new IPO from a company called Argo Blockchain, which got me curious, and I ended up looking into the company. And I decided to share what I found, and so here we are. Note that I'm just some schmuck that probably doesn't know anything about what I'm about to say right now, but stay for a picture of a cat at the end. All right, so what is Argo? Argo Blockchain is a crypto mining company that focuses on improving energy efficiency in their mining rigs. They also focus on trying to utilize renewable energies as well. It was founded in Q1 of 2018. In Q2 of 2018, they launched a mining as a service. And then in August of 2018, it launched an IPO on the London Stock Exchange. This is actually a pretty good thing because you'll be able to find some good financial data on its website because it's already public. It then shifted its business strategy into mining for itself. I believe this is partly due to the increase in the price of Bitcoin, or it could just be that they expected the price to increase. Since then, Argo has invested in new generation 7 nanometer mining rigs and mining technologies, and has been expanding its fleets of mining rigs. It plans to launch its IPO on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange this month, and that is why we are here. Now, taking a look at the industry, cryptocurrency mining is the process of solving some crazy, complicated math problem, which is also critical to the maintenance and the development of the blockchain. And then miners are then rewarded for this work with newly mined cryptocurrencies. The crypto mining industry has seen some very interesting news somewhat recently. First is the cryptocurrency ban in China, which may lead to miners shutting down their operations or leaving the country entirely. Second is Elon Musk. Elon Musk was seen to be a proponent of Bitcoin and still is, but when it first came out, the price of Bitcoin rose, especially as Tesla announced it would accept payments in the form of Bitcoin. But this was later retracted after Elon said that Bitcoin was still not eco-friendly enough. Quote, "Cryptocurrency is a good idea on many levels, and we believe it has a promising future, but this cannot come at a great cost to the environment. Tesla has suspended vehicle purchases using Bitcoin. We are concerned about rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which has the worst emissions of any fuel," end quote. Third on the news is El Salvador. Bitcoin became a national currency in that country. And then fourth, I'm going to just lump all of this together, politics. There's a lot of things floating around about cryptocurrencies in the U.S. Political environment. But anyways, moving forward, now finances. At what point is Argo solvent? They are a mining company. They will be making money depending on how much they could mine and how much of what they mine is worth. And in this case, of course, Argo is mining Bitcoin. And in this first table that we're looking at, I don't know if this is a British thing, but I believe mining profits on line 2 is actually the cost of mining and not revenue minus cost profit. That would explain the 41% mining margin on the next line. It could be an error, or once again, maybe it's a British thing. They call profits cost. But this mining margin only takes into account the hosting and other costs, which I'm assuming includes energy. It does not include the depreciation of mining hardware. If we take that into account, the mining margin is around 9.7%. We don't know how much of the cost is still associated to the subscriber revenue, which was around £9,509, but that only makes up around 0.05% of the revenue, so I'm going to just consider it negligible. We see that the margin does go up in 2021, which is excellent. In fact, we see a tremendous margin growth in the first half of 2021. But how much of this is associated to Bitcoin's price growth? So I did a little analysis, right? If we break down the numbers to revenue and cost per Bitcoin and Bitcoin equivalents mined, we can see that the revenue is very closely associated to the price of Bitcoin, which is expected, right? If you look at the year 2020, the revenue per mined coin was around $10,648, and the first half of 2021, it was around $48,743. So there are some great similarities there with the price of Bitcoin. But I think the more important figure here is the cost per mined. So it costs around, in 2020, around $9,600 to mine one coin. And then in 2021, $15,205 to mine one coin. And this is an important figure because as long as the price of Bitcoin does not fall below that $15,000 mark, we should expect a positive gross revenue. And the higher that Bitcoin goes, the higher margins we would see out of Argo. Just looking at these numbers, though, we can very much tell that Argo's revenue is extremely dependent on the price of Bitcoin, which once again is expected since that is what they are mining. I'm not going to dive deeply into the balance sheet for the purposes of this video, but I just wanted to bring it up because I did notice something. It was very interesting. This is a screenshot of their release document. And if you look at their share capital and share premium line, they do have an error, reference source not found text in there. I'll let you take from it what you will, along with the fact that in the other table, mining profits was used instead of mining costs. But maybe once again, I'm just a schmuck, so it might just be a British thing, or I don't know. Maybe I just don't know better. But that's what something interesting that I noticed. But onto the SWOT analysis. So for strengths. One strength that I found with Argo is that they have facilities spread out all throughout North America. And what this means is that it gives them geographic protection, right? So if there's an earthquake, a hurricane, a fire, or some other event that occurs, it's not going to affect all of their mining facilities at once. So that is a strength. Another strength that I discovered is that they have a strong partnership and relationship with Epic. Epic is a ASIC hardware provider, and I found this very interesting. Argo actually provides a space and capacity at one of their facilities for Epic to have their researchers and engineers come in to work on and help develop future machines. And from this partnership, Argo also gets a priority in accessing the most advanced mining infrastructure available. So it's a very good strength to have. If Epic's ASIC machines are top tier, then Argo, of course, would have first dibs on it compared to its competitors, which will allow Argo to kind of get that initial bump in hash rates. Of course, this also brings in its weakness in that Argo is partnered with Epic, right? So if Epic isn't able to produce high-performing ASICs compared to other ASIC manufacturers, then Argo can suffer. And another interesting weakness that I saw was that the mining rigs' lifespans are actually only 3 to 4 years. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that hardware recycling, and of course that involves costs as well. Opportunities. So Argo recently, in March of 2021, they acquired 320 acres of land in West Texas, where they plan to build a new hosting facility. They'll have access to up to 200 megawatts of clean energy. This is a great opportunity for Argo because Texas, their electric grid is unique from the rest of the United States in that they have all of these different electricity producers that compete for price. So companies that are moving down there, especially a lot of mining companies that are moving down there, are able to get the cheapest energy price that they possibly can so that they reduce operating costs or cost of goods sold. So this is definitely a good opportunity for Argo. And also there are also other plans to increase eco-friendliness as well. They have something called TerraPool, which is upcoming, something that they're working on, and it'll be the first green Bitcoin mining pool powered exclusively by clean energy. So all of these things that Argo is doing is kind of improving that image of Bitcoin being a non-energy or non-clean cryptocurrency that, as Elon Musk was pointing out before. And also the other opportunity is Bitcoin's price continuously going up, right? So their revenue and their margins are very closely tied to the price of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin continues to rise, then we'll see great revenue coming out of Argo. But that, of course, is a threat. If Bitcoin goes down, then, of course, their revenue goes down, their operating margins go down, which would not be good. And there are other threats as well, as we mentioned before, right? You have the political environment. For example, China's new regulation caused the miners over there to shut down. And that could happen in the United States, hopefully not. But right now there are some politics going around. There's regulators are looking into Coinbase. So we'll see what happens in the crypto world in that area. And then, of course, there are technology advancements and costs. As I said before, the life cycle of the rigs are about 3 to 4 years. So we're going to be constantly swapping those out. And then as more advanced equipment comes out, the cost of that might also go up, whereas the output might not go up as much. So something to look at. Energy costs are also a threat. If electricity costs go up, then of course the bottom line goes down because there'll be more costs associated to mining those coins. And this is an interesting one. The other threat is competition, right? So it's a good thing that Bitcoin prices are going up. We see operating margins go up. We see revenue going up. That's all great. But there are other people out there with grubby, greedy little hands that want to get in on the action, and they're going to see Argo making all this money, and they're going to want to come in and make money themselves too. So we might actually see some additional new competitors come in, and of course we'll see existing competitors get bigger as well. Argo did mention that there are other companies out there that do have access to a lot more capital than Argo does. So there are some threats in that field too. I think the interesting thing about Argo is that it is a crypto mining public company. And what that means is that all of those people who have wanted to mine crypto, but either didn't know how to, were too lazy to set it up, didn't have the funds and the capital to set up such an infrastructure. And right now also it's very hard to get into that because you need a lot of capital and very hardware specific items in order to mine crypto efficiently now. So, but this is a great way to get into crypto mining without actually mining the crypto yourself because you're owning a company that is doing the mining. So you're kind of in part owning the crypto mining operations or per se. But yeah, so it's actually very interesting that this opportunity came up, and I might take another look into it to consider if I will be investing in this company or not. But thought it was a fun little treat that popped up in my notification feed, and I wanted to look at it. So hope you enjoyed, and here is the picture of that cat.